are coming to you from New York City for another episode of Crow Connect. We are at the Croatians Online studio, and today I have a very special guest who's coming all the way from Toronto, Canada, to join us today. We have Sabrina Šančić, who comes from Toronto, who is the owner of Bella Crystal Design, and she'll be speaking with us all about the lovely shoes we see in front of us, and so much more of her work and her connection to the Croatian community, especially up in Toronto. Oh, hi, Sabrina.
Hi.
We're so happy to have you.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Yes.
I'm so excited to be here.
I have loved interviewing you, gotten to know you through the years, so I was super
Yes.
excited that we could talk some more and
Yeah.
get some more of you out there in
Catch
the world.
up,
Yes.
catch up. Yes.
And hearing how things are, especially as we're now moving into World Cup season.
Yes.
And you are up in Toronto.
I am.
So I think we need to first talk a little bit about Toronto and the vibes up in Toronto right now before we get into all the beautiful
All the
things and all of that. So we know Croatia will be playing Panama on June 23rd. And what's it like up there right now in the Croatian community?
I mean, there is a lot of anticipation at every single event. That's all everyone is talking about. Who's going to the game? Like, you know, where are you sitting? Where are you going to go before? Where are you going afterwards? Where are you staying? And I mean, the city in general is gearing up for, you know, millions of people to even come. So they're trying to, you know, tighten up security and things like that. But in regards to all the events that are happening at all the different churches that we have and parks, that's also what the whole buzz is about, because the game is one thing and the atmosphere is going to be a once in a lifetime experience, but all of the events that we're having all over the GTA is an experience in itself, because that's when everyone's really going to be able to connect with each other from
so awesome.
everywhere. So
yeah, I
we're
mean, I
very
know.
excited.
Yeah, just the vibes in North America right now
Yeah.
are really, really excitement and just, you know, getting ready, getting prepared,
Yes.
seeing Croatia play.
Yes.
We're all trying to figure out where are we going to go see Croatia play.
Yeah.
And Toronto being certainly a great destination for so many people. So we thought it was a great opportunity to bring you here to also just talk about Croatian community in Toronto, because there's a
Yes.
huge Croatian community in
Huge.
Toronto.
Yeah.
And I think it's worth us really talking about and just really exploring so much of what goes on. But before we get into that, tell us your connection to Croatia first and foremost.
So I am married into the Croatian culture,
Mhm.
and I really adapted it myself. I learned the language, customs, traditions. I have my daughter that's heavily involved in the community as well. So she dances in Kolo at the Norval Church. I'm a part of the Norval Church myself. I took it upon myself because, you know, I go to a lot of dances. We had a lot of concerts. We bring a lot of Croatian bands that come to the GTA. And instead of kind of being left out, I took it upon myself to understand, to be a part of, because it looked like so much fun.
Yes.
And then, of course, I ended up really picking up the language and the
Really,
culture.
yes.
And now everyone is just kind of like, okay,
You're Croatian.
I'm
now.
Croatian.
Yes, you
That's
are.
it. Yes, friend of Croatia.
Which is great. And you've been recognized as such, as a friend of Croatia.
That's
in a
right.
lot of ways.
Yeah.
So can you talk a little bit about where that recognition has come from?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So this year I'm very honored, and I'm still kind of like over the moon. I received the Friend of Croatia Award at the ACAP. We had our conference that was happening in October. So I was able to receive that award, being that I promote Croatian culture. You know, I really got into it, and I wanted my daughter to feel like I'm also a part of it with her. It's a part of her history. It's a part of her heritage.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, she's a part of me too. So I kind of just really dove into it. But yeah, they gave me the award this year, and it was a prestigious honor. And I was crying with happiness.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe
yeah.
it.
Well deserved, because I think that you really have embraced for a culture that wasn't yours initially, you know,
Yeah.
coming into the world. The way you've embraced Croatia is
100%.
really just awe-inspiring to me, to see how you went fully into it, and
Totally.
you really have created a brand
Yes.
around it too, which is really
Yes.
great, and people love it. And now that we're heading into that world, it's really exciting to see more of it, because you've been doing a lot of the Croatian work and for so long. I mean, how long have you been really with your business and everything? How long have things been going on?
I've been doing, I guess, Croatian items for about 7 years now. So it was kind of, I originally I made ornaments, and it was supposed to be for family and friends. Instead of giving a bottle of wine, you always go to someone's house at Christmas time. And I thought, like, instead of doing that, I was gonna make, you know, Croatian ornaments. And then from there, it blew up all over Canada, you know, because they got it and they were like, well, I have family in Calgary, I have family in Montreal, I have family in, Vancouver, and it spread. And then from there, it spread to the States. And then from there, it spread to Australia. And from there, it blew up in Croatia and Germany, Switzerland. Wow. Croatians all over the world. So you can't just say that Croatians are in the States, Canada. They're everywhere and very patriotic. So it really initially was just going to be a little bit of a passion project, and then it ended up being, the full-time thing. And I had to learn all about everything, like what the proper color was. It had to be the right blue. It had to be the right red. It couldn't just be a red. It had everything.
No, we don't mess
around. Don't mess around. You have to be on point with these things. So it's been a long time, and I have created a brand, and I think I've had people come up to me, even other women that have married into the Croatian culture, and said, you've inspired me to kind of get involved myself and to feel a part of things, and I say, of course, you're stepping outside your comfort zone, which is awesome, but we all come together, and it's the same. We all just want to keep the tradition alive, right? Especially for our kids too.
And I think that's what I love. And that's what I'd love to talk a little bit about, because I think it's fascinating to hear about the community up in Toronto and the greater Toronto area regarding Croatia, where products get sold, people meet up, you get your children involved in things. So what are some things that are going on that you've really loved being involved in, and having your child be involved in as well up there?
Well, I love that she's in Colo. She loves it. We have our festival that is happening very soon, actually, where different groups get to perform. So it's great for them to see each other, and they do support each other, and you see the different notions from different regions. It's beautiful. It's actually artistic in a way. And for me, I always appreciate the artistic ability, but I love to see the different, noshna, opanka, everything that they have, and the different dances that they have from different regions. So we have a very strong presence over there where, you come from Hamilton or there's Toronto, but again, we all kind of come together, and there's other makers in the Croatian business. We have our Christmas markets, our Croatian Christmas markets that happen up in Hamilton. The Croatian Chamber of Commerce, they put on a great job on doing that. And it's a great way for the community to just come together. That's what we look about it. And also when you see everybody's kind of returns every year, and we like to see what are the new products that everyone came up with. And we love to support one another, because I always say this, it's community over competition. We're always supporting one another. So,
and I think that's what I've particularly loved and learned from you about the Toronto Croatian community, is just how well connected, and just how many of you all are also out there, which I think is really important, because anyone watching in Croatia might not realize just how large of a community of Croatians there are in the Toronto area.
It's large, yes. And when the World Cup is happening and everybody starts coming in, we're gonna paint the town in checkers. So cool. I hope that they light the CN Tower up in checkers. That would be so cool.
Oh my God, that's a great idea.
Yeah, it's something that a lot of people were talking about at an event. We had an event with the chamber on Tuesday, and we're like, that would be a great idea. So
we would love to see it, and if that happens, certainly, if I'm not up there, send me some pictures for sure. Because it sounds like such a really cool thing. Now I need to speak more about business, because this business has been amazing. And I feel like you put your heart and soul into this. And I think it's so important for us to really talk about just the years and the effort and everything you've done to building such a beautiful brand. So this is Bella Crystal Design.
Right. Yes.
So talk to me about the inspiration to get Bella Crystal Design started.
So originally how it started was my own wedding shoes. And it's funny because I came to New York searching for these already done in Bella shoes. So it's kind of a full circle moment that I'm here now talking about how it started, because this is the city that kind of, started that idea. And I was a DIY bride. I wanted to do it myself because I had my own way of doing it. I thought I can do this. And I practiced. And then once I revealed the shoes that I did, everyone fell in love with them. And then again, I kept creating items. And it's hard to be an entrepreneur at first because, you're just learning. And I'm learning. I still learn, even as somebody that's been doing this for years now. I'm always looking for new techniques. I'm always trying to expand my designs and find new ways and new spins on things. But it takes years to be able to do it. And I used to say to my friends, just wear it. Just tell people where you got it. Just promote it, right? I wasn't charging anybody. It wasn't like that. It was just a passion project, which led to being fully huge passion, right?
Yes. So, yeah. I mean, earlier when we were talking, I asked like, where do you do all of this? Where does it all live?
Where does it live?
Yes, because it just, when you're looking at your Instagram page, which we'll also talk about, because I think it's important to talk about that too. But when you're looking at it, it's the never ending items that you're working on. And it's like, where does this all go? Where does it all stay? So tell me about just how do you stay on top of it all?
I know. Well, the magic really happens at my house.
Okay.
My office is, I've pretty much taken over my whole basement, but it's an art form that's become very popular over the years because you're seeing a lot of celebrities, and you've seen a lot of my stuff on celebrities now too, that people are really getting to the art form of it. And I mean, it doesn't just limit to sneakers. It doesn't just limit to cell phone cases and all of these glittery, sparkly things. I've done a violin. I've done instruments. I've done microphones. I've done show business. I've done commercial items. It is truly an art form that is very niche, but it's diverse in the same way too. Yeah. So because it doesn't limit you to one item.
It really doesn't.
And that's what I love about it. And I always have customers that come to me, and some of them will come with the most craziest ideas where they're like, do you think you could do this? And I'm like, I think so. And if I can't, then I'll be honest about that too. But I always try to attempt it and see if I can. So,
but I think that part of your personality is where this business is so successful, is that you're going to do it. You're going to get it.
I want to break the rules.
Yes.
I don't feel like there should be any rules when it comes to this type of art form. Again, you're not limited. And I am very well known for my sneakers. Yes, 100%. But I do other items as well. So sometimes when someone comes to me with a really cool project, I get very excited because I'm like, this is kind of a challenge. And sometimes even as an expert, and every master was once a disaster, right? Yeah. But even as an expert in this art form, I still like to be challenged too. So whenever I get a really cool project that comes my way, like the violin, for instance, an electric violin, I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. This is a lot of different areas. Even with the kids' cars, I've done kids ride-on cars for certain celebrity kids, NBA children, that sort of thing. And it's a big challenge, but I'm up for the challenge, right? Yeah. And that's what I feel like sets me a little apart.
It does. It definitely does. It's you see that, and you see the spirit behind it is there too. You have such a positive spirit, and you're willing to try it and explore it. I mean, we have to mention, I know this is not Croatian, but we have to mention that Shania Twain even reached out to you for business. So I think we need to talk about that and how that came to be a little bit too. Yes.
We love her.
So just that was such an honor.
Well, I mean, she's a Canadian artist. And I grew up listening to Shania Twain as a child too, right? The country music era when you're a kid. And when it was, they reached out to me about it, I couldn't believe it. It was kind of like, oh my goodness. We're actually having, she actually wants me to do these things, but she is an amazing, very down-to-earth artist that she wants to support Canadian artists too, but she's very good at supporting artists, period. And I love those celebrities that want to just give people like me a chance to share our art form with the world, and they use their platform to use us, use us little guys, right? So I love that.
Awesome. So we're going to talk about the shoes, because I think the shoes, since they are your most popular product,
100%.
We have to talk about them. So they started off, and I don't know if the camera can see, but they started off as this, which is really awesome with the checkers. And just recently there was a little bit of a upgrade to the shoe design.
Always.
And these are the new shoes that you're recently putting out there. So talk to me about the shoes and the concept and just your idea behind the shoes.
So originally the shoes, how it started was baby shoes. And there are a lot of people like myself, half Croatian, half Italian little baby. So I came up with the concept of having one shoe is Croatian and one shoe is Italian. It's a completely custom item. And then, of course, a friend was asking if she could have a pair of Nikes for her daughter, but I was like, I don't want to do it the baby shoe way. I did it the Nike way. And then from there, it blew up. It went absolutely viral, especially all over Europe, which led to so many different outlets, media, news reaching out because it was just such a unique product. And that was during the Euro Cup. Yes. And I've been going strong since then. And so, of course, with World Cup happening, it's a very big year. Also being, a hosting city for Croatia to play, I wanted to make a special edition. I was like, we need to do something new and fresh. And it's also because I found that these sneakers, even at the Euro Cups, were connecting Croatians all over the world that don't even know each other.
Yes.
I had, a couple of my customers, one's from Zagreb and one was from Vancouver. They saw each other at the games. They said, oh my God, you have shoes just like me. Sabrina did them. And then, of course, they're like taking pictures, showing me. And I thought it was so amazing that I'm like, you know what, this is going to be another addition to that, to be able to connect Croatians.
And they're just a conversation piece, because I know when I first met you, that they caught my eye immediately. Yes.
Yeah.
So even just that, even if it's people don't know, people are going to ask about them.
Yeah.
And that part I think is so huge, because the curiosity behind, wait a second, how do these shoes look like this? Where did this happen?
Yes.
Is such an important part of this, I think, too, to just market and get your name out there. And I'm sure it gets you very busy, but there's a reason why you're so busy.
Yeah. Well, you can't find it in stores, right? And
Yes.
I'm sure, I've had some people that have attempted the design and I've tried, and some have succeeded, and I feel like I've inspired them. I can't look at it as an insult. I'm like, oh, it's amazing, right? And then others are like, you know what? I don't have the patience to put crystals on anything. I'm just going to have you do that. And I'm honored to do it anyways, right? And I love it. I love to see that the families are matching. You've got like little toddlers wearing that. You got little babies. You've got moms, kumovi. You've got even people asking, them to be a kuma. They're presenting Nikes. It's so beautiful. I think it's amazing, and it's a timeless piece. You can't get it anywhere. We're never going to change the checkers.
No,
so
the checkers are
them, right?
It's so true.
It's not like
and they're the identifying piece. Yeah, they're the identifying piece. So to just really be able to make that pop and have people really excited wearing it out there, I think just adds so much to the energy of Croatia and Croatian pride, because this is a big part of being Croatian, is the pride that we have for our country.
And I found that with the sneakers, because I've worn them around, right? And people who aren't Croatian, right? Like now they're like, I don't understand why the checkers, and it gives me a chance to even kind of educate them on what the good means, and the specific red, and then they end up going like, oh, I don't know much about Croatia. They end up Googling and they're like, what a beautiful place. I want to put this on my bucket list. Now you have somebody that's willing to go travel there to explore the culture, to explore everything, the food, the beautiful atmosphere, the salt water, everything. And it's, I feel like it's just a piece that connects. And I know that they're just sneakers, but it's amazing that we kind of have our own art form in a way.
It's an art.
It's an art.
It's a total art.
It kind of just... it's something we have, right?
Yes. And you have to take me through the art. So how long does one piece take? What are the steps to it? Walk me through the process.
It's a long process. I don't say, when people ask me in the sense of like, I want to do it myself, I'm like, the prep work is the start work. If you don't prep it properly, you're going to have a big mess. Okay. So that's where the expertise come along. That's where a lot of trial and error. I think I've tested glues on glues, right? So it wasn't just sticking a bunch of gems on a surface and calling it a day. There had to be a lot of strategic planning. And also I was very, very particular on how big the squares have to be. Sometimes they have to be adjusted. If it's for a little baby shoe, it can't be that big, right? So there was a lot of math involved. How many checkers am I going to be able to fit on one pair of shoes? How am I going to be able to make sure that you can identify that they're checkers? So I always say the number one thing is prep your surface. Number two thing is I have to make sure that I paint them, because I want to make sure that the checkers are sharp. And then third is obviously the colors of the crystals had to match the flag properly. It was very, very important. Even when I do my Croatian ornaments, the gold trim, it has to be a specific gold too. So I was very adamant about that being.
Well, that's the art part. I'm not an artist, so my eye would not be able to catch those kinds of things. But that's where that's so valuable. And that's why this is such an art, because you need that eye to be able to even develop something like this, I think, and make it as successful as you have. Just not, like, as you said, not everyone can do this, which I think is huge. And so, since this is such a busy time, I can only imagine how long and how busy and how much is going on right now. So walk us through the World Cup prep now.
Oh my gosh. So my house does look like a shoe store. Okay. I found that to get ahead of the game, I have been ordering quite a bit of sizes before people have been placing their orders. So that way I'm not running into any shipping problems, which does happen, if Postal Service goes on strike. So this way, the most popular type of sizes I like to keep in stock. But sometimes it's like, even when I find that, okay, I got ahead of the game, I've gotten all my shipments out for the week, I'll still start, because I know it's just such a hot commodity right now. Everybody wants to get their hands on it. And I say that the turnaround time is usually about 2 weeks, because, you know, give or take, things happen. I am a mom. So of course, you know, little ones get sick. She's got festival next weekend. We've got colo practice back to back. There's a lot happening. And of course, I'm also heavily, you know, helping in with the Croatian Chamber as well in Canada. So I want to make sure that I'm available for them. And, you know, we're always having fundraisers for different colo groups. And I've had sneakers that are up for prizes and things like that. I donate my services, because I want to be able to support everybody. I want to keep this going. So having, you know, a pair of sneakers, yes, it could take, you know, 2-3 hours. But I've done so many since Euros that I can kind of do it with my eyes closed. So I'm like, I know down to the wire how much time it's going to take me, how many sneakers I can get done in a day. And sometimes if you have the last minute bride that's like, hey, I want a pair for my wedding, because you know, some of my brides now are wearing their checkered sneakers, because they're like, I can't dance colo in a circle in my heels. No,
you can't.
I need a pair of sneakers. So, and I think it's great. So,
I love that. I love that. And I think that's so important. And that then brings me to a lot of your social media following.
Yes.
That is just an amazing feat that you have achieved.
Huge.
And I think because they're so eye-catching, all the work that you do, not just the sneakers, but even in these environments, like at a wedding, you're going to catch a bride wearing them. You're going to see a baby at a christening, maybe in a little pair of your shoes. So how did that grow? How did that really, there's work in social media growth. So tell me about that part for you.
Yeah. I say to everybody, that's the number one business question I get from anybody starting as an entrepreneur. They're like, how do I get off the ground with social media? And I say it's been really the pioneer of my business. It's really driven. I say play around a lot with it. But what the most important part is, you got to show your work. You got to show what you're doing, even if it's the nitty gritty. I mean, everyone sees the glory, but they don't see the story. So sometimes you're going to see me wear it with a messy hair bun, and I'm like in sweats, and I'm grinding sneakers, because legitimately that's the backbone of my business, right? You want to, I'm relatable. Things happen, right? I can't sit there always in makeup in my basement. There's times where I have a mask on to protect from the dust and things like that. But it's post everything, because everyone wants to see, right? They want to see what it entails. And also you earn a bit of a respect that way too, because when you're only showing the glittery, glitzy part of things, it's not really showing you the full picture, that there's so much heart that is behind this business too. It's a family business. I even have my little daughter sometimes on my social media that's, you know, packing little ornament boxes, because ultimately I'm trying to, you know, also show her that you can be a mom and a business owner, a designer, whatever it is, that the sky's the limit. You know, you just show your art form, whatever that may be. And she's really gotten into it as well. So,
and that's what I think is really great, is that relatability part. That is what I know I felt right away the minute that I saw your social media, was like, oh wow, here's someone that like can show me the hard part of it too, as well as the beautiful part of it, you know, because there is a hard part of it, and being a mom, a wife, also working other jobs, this and that, you know, it's so hard sometimes to stay on top of things, the late nights that I'm sure this takes you through.
Early mornings. Yes. There's no sick days.
Yes.
You know, I've worked through flus and things like that. And, you know, there's been times where I've had to come home more early from parties, that it's like, I got orders, guys. And that's the thing. Everyone knows back in the GTA, it's World Cup year for me.
Yes.
So chances of you seeing me like stay for it is not happening, right? Because I'm really tied up. And then I also have girls that are helping me too with the prep work and stuff. So it's gotten so busy and it's grown. And I mean, I've grown such a connection with a lot of my customers too, and they've been with me since the beginning of time. And they're always like, what's the new thing coming out? What's the new thing? And I'm very grateful and honored. And of course, I knew that this was going to be something that was going to be big, but it really went viral. And now I feel like it's just been a huge phenomenon that I still try to have to pinch myself for, like wake me up, right?
Wow. Yeah. And I mean, that part must be real, where you feel like that, just what this has done for you. Because I know that's so important for us when we put our heart and soul into something, to know that it's actually being shared and loved by the world as well too. So I'm sure that's amazing.
Yeah, it is. It truly is an art form. And I just feel like there is an emotional piece that's behind it too, because some of the just sneakers, baptism shoes, whatever, there's a lot of emotion behind it. And they're trusting me with items that are going to be keepsakes for them forever. And also it's something that, you know, is related to them. Like for instance, the baby shoes, it was really the checkers that were on the bottom of the baby shoes. And how that happened was, it was a customer reached out and said, you know, Baka and Dida are coming from Croatia. And my husband, the only way he will have a pair is if his Croatian culture is incorporated. And of course, this was a challenge. And I love that. I went over there, I brought the shoes. This was in the beginning days. Baka and Dida are crying. They're handing me shots. I'm having kolache with a bunch of these strangers. But I'm like, what a beautiful moment. You know, I was a part of that moment, and it really just, it became addictive. It became addictive to feel like, hey, I feel like I'm a part of that. And now, like, some of my customers have become some of my best friends. And we've grown over the years, right? I've seen little babies grow up from beginning to now, and
which is amazing. And you've been through those big moments in their lives with your products and things. So, and I think that's why also there's so much love to your brand, because there's heart behind it. There's so 1,000%. Much of that I think that's what draws people in and keeps people coming back. Also, that's what I've learned about you. You're fully heart, soul, you're real, that genuine part of you. And I think that's why people keep coming back and making you such a big part of their lives, which is awesome.
I mean, success is better when shared. So it's also like, I feel successful when someone is happy, when a customer feels happy about it, they feel good with their purchase. And majority of my business comes, yes, from social media as a 100% a driving point, but it's the referrals. It's always the referrals, because they know they can always kind of ask me, and they know I'm going to be honest too. If it's a project that I'm like, I don't think it's going to work, I'm not going to steer them in the wrong direction. They know I'm going to 100% be like, hey, it's probably not a good idea. I would suggest these sneakers instead. Show me, right? I always say, like, we could try to work it out. We'll work on it, but they have a specific vision. Sometimes they'll show me pictures of what other crystals artists have done. And of course, I don't want to take that design. So I'm like, I have to make it a little bit different. But I appreciate the inspiration too. So.
But I think every time you do make things a little different, because when these were revealed, I got chills just seeing the new design. It was you know, we had seen these, and those also have always, they're the classic. I love them. But then you just upped things with the blue, this one. And that just did something to all of us. And I think anyone who's seeing them, wearing them, are going to feel that, especially now at the World Cup, being that there is this connection to home for a lot of us, being in North America, knowing that we're going to be able to be supporting the team here in our own backyard. So knowing that there's this, and our backyard has the games going on, it's just, how do you not have emotion attached to this, I think, which is awesome. And I love the work that you're doing, and these are phenomenal. And so how many people in Toronto do you think are going to be rocking these shoes this year?
Because I've sent out hundreds, and so many are coming to Toronto. I think we are literally going to paint the town in checkers. I'm convinced.
I'm amazed.
And I've done other cultures and sneakers too, but this is my bread and butter right here. This is my number one. And I think it's great that anybody can put on a Croatian, you know, jersey, any culture, any team could put but we're in checkers from head to toe, right? So, you know, we've got the hats and the headbands, and I'm also, the way that it came is I'm thinking about the women, because, you know, the soccer jerseys is more masculine, where this is more of a feminine feel. And the girls, they love it, right? And you know what? Even men have been getting themselves some sparkly shoes too, because they're like, I want to be noticed. I want to be cool. So it's really started, I don't want to say a trend, but it has started, you know, a culture art form, if you will. So.
And I think more power to you, because not only were you thriving, I think now with everything in our own backyard, this is going to keep you real busy and bring you a lot of attention, which is super awesome for the work that you do, because we want to see you continuing to thrive and doing this work. What are your goals for down the line with Bella Crystal?
Of course, I always want to expand. I want to do more corporate. You know, there's different commercials and things like that. There's really a lot of PR, and social media influencers are really big. You see them unboxing and things like that. It's always a fun project, but it's way more fun to work with like a celebrity when they have, you know, a show in Vegas and things like that, because it's awesome to see. And also it kind of gives you a bit of a a moment where I used to sing to songs with my hairbrush as a teenager in my room, and now that celebrity is wearing my work, you know? So of course I want to expand more into the show business part of things and the PR and social media, but there's never an end goal for Bella. There's always something more, and I always want to kind of dip my feet in different pools, but I'm always going to keep grounded to this and stay humble and true to what, you know, is my number one, right? And the Croatian community has been so supportive of me. And of course, I'm supportive of them, and I'm honored to be able to connect Croatians through fashion.
Yeah, we really do. We just love you.
Yeah.
And we want to continue to see you achieve all those goals. And I think that's also the part too, when you think about the business side of it, is really knowing that like there has to always be some level of curiosity and growth as a business person.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even with there's the Nikes, and then the growth came, well, now can you do Pumas? Now can you do Adidas? Now can you do different brands? Now can you do it on a purse? And you know, I've done quite a bit of that. The fashion keeps growing, and it will never go away.
No.
Loud and proud.
No.
So I like that. You know, there's always trends that happen, different pinks and colors, and I'm in my pink era, but this is never going to go away.
No, you had said it earlier, they were classic.
They're classic and
these
timeless.
Are timeless.
They're timeless. Yeah.
So timeless. And whether it's this World Cup or a World Cup 4 years from now, they're going to always be something that you can have on and be representing, and that'll be this connection to you. You last forever.
Yeah.
Which is so cool.
This is more like the more important World Cup. Of course, you know, this is a World Cup that I've had. A Euro Cup was also one, but because Croatia's playing where I live, that's what makes it so much more special, right? So, and the atmosphere, like I said before earlier, is incredible. And now we're just gonna paint the whole town.
You are, and we might just be there doing it too with you.
Yes.
And we're super excited for that. So where can people find you? What's the best way to contact you, reach out if they want to pair? What's the best?
So the best way is to either email me or social media. I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Facebook. So it's at Bella Crystal Design. A lot of people say, is it designs or design? It's design. But you know, I always kind of, right now it's so busy that I have somebody actually helping me respond to messages. So I say, you know, wait 48 hours. And if you don't hear from me, which you will, send me an email too, which is bellacrystaldesign@gmail.com. And then let me know your size, where you're located. I say to every single customer before we get into it, where are you located? Because I am now an international business. This is no longer just Canada, right? This is no longer just America. I got to factor in, you know, euros and the shipping, and if there is any, you know, type of fees that they have to pay. And also because they're sizing in Europe, they're like, I'm a size 41. Well, to us, we're like,
what does that even
size
mean?
41. So, but I've done so many shoes out now that I automatically kind of know. But I always say, tell me where you're located first. So if you're inquiring about sneakers, the number one question I'm going to ask is, what size are you and where are you located? And then from there, we'll get you going with whatever sneakers you need.
Amazing. Well, we're super excited to see these out there in Toronto. Your greater Toronto community, I'm sure, is super excited for you, for the games, all of it. We loved having you here as always. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, we are gonna keep following you.
Love Croatians online. So much fun to come back.
And we love Bella Crystal, and we will be following Bella Crystal Design all throughout the World Cup and beyond. And we hope you will as well.